the world-renowned domino artist Lily Hevesh threw down the gauntlet to create an even better infinite domino ring than JK Brickworks. His genius in that creation blew me away and inspired my own build. Lily said in her reaction video,
"I don't think anyone's going to be able to make an infinite loop that is better than this."
Challenge accepted. Now, with Lily's launch of an open-ended domino build challenge, wouldn't you know it's time had come. It's hard to improve on genius and infinite, which basically defines JK Brickworks' version. Except his was made of Lego bricks, which you just buy pre-made. And it requires electricity to run, which you also just kind of buy pre-made. And if I'm nitpicking, his build runs counterclockwise. And that hurts my brain somewhat, so... Naturally, WoodenYaKnowIt's version will be built using wood as much as possible. I started on the custom hinge dominoes themselves with a rather manual approach, which was way too slow for my project scope and prone to user error. So, I went with CAD design and CNC precision milling the wood. For the dominoes, I settled on beautiful walnut wood because Johnny picked it, and rock maple for the pivot stand component. With the delicate, knobby, stick-out hinge thingy, I failed fast and often with the design of the stand-up mechanism.
But... bloop. And this falls back down. Amazing!
But having sorted that, and not being constrained to only prefab Lego shapes, I felt the infinity symbol would be fitting for the function. Once I had proof of concept, it was time to make the domino pieces en masse. It was really fun making a few of them. Making the whole ring, well, it gave me refinement of process and understanding of why one may choose to make this a pre-made Lego instead. I cut the walnut strips out, chopped them to length, then milled their center hinge groove out, optimizing the process for minimal agony. This gives each domino the curve they need to fall and flip up along their hinge. Then, onto drilling out their pivot hole. That started off swimmingly, then devolved quickly into mayhem, which was solved by strapping them down tight, over and over. Next, to cut out each domino stand component, followed by sanding, then drilling their own pivot holes and roundovers, again with my high-tech tethers to minimize flying parts. The infinity symbol-shaped stand-up mechanism parts were rather intricate and frustrating to cut out. I then cut and glued tiny pins to each, one which would serve to lift the fallen dominoes, and the other as a positive stop to determine their resting positions. The domino ring needs to set into a base, so I milled that out here with a square indent for a Lazy Susan-style inner spinning disc that'll carry the moving reset ramp. Then to cut out that inner spinning disc, whose outer edge is one long inclined plane spiral. And then the extra ramp insert component, which rides the bottom of the setup mechanisms to lift up each domino. I made the spinning disc and the little ramp piece separately to be able to refine the final ramp height on the disc's edge without all the math. I then made pairs of the walnut dominoes and maple stand components, ensuring good fit for each pair, and installing tiny magnet pairs on each, balancing them to have just enough pull to keep each domino upright when set up, but weak enough to allow the domino to easily topple down when its neighbor falls into it. After a fair bit of sanding and finishing, I could finally assemble, insert, and lock the pivot pins with cute walnut caps. Et voila! We have, as far as I know, the world's first and only wooden, self-setting and resetting, no electricity required for play, infinitely clockwise falling domino ring. It's easy to use and intuitive enough for my 5- and 3-year-olds, which likely scores unexpected bonus points for the contest. But this still wasn't lazy enough for me, so I made a geared hand crank so I could run the whole operation remotely. It topples and resets at a rate of over 1,000 dominoes per minute, which is just over 1.5 million satisfying wooden domino clicks per day, so it topples 1 billion dominoes in well under 2 years. Now, considering the circumference of this ring is 75 inches and makes 24 revolutions per minute, math says we're cruising at 1.7 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive for something as tall as your pinky. So those billion dominoes toppled would have traveled some 25,000 miles, greater than the circumference of the entire Earth. I think you can see we were really getting somewhere now, since it would not use even one tiny bit of electricity for that travel, and creates zero emissions. So what started as a whimsical contest entry inadvertently points us towards solutions of various macro-level problems, which, if somehow does not earn Lily's blue ribbon, will hopefully at least earn your subscription today. Enjoy the energy savings as you click that button, and be certain to tell me of something else in the comments that, if made out of wood, would make you smile and say, wouldn't you know it?